What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Guys That Magic. I'm Shane, and I'm joined by Hunter. Say what up, dude.
What's going on?
We're doing something interesting. We had a new deck come out through Secret Lair, and you're gonna upgrade it. You love doing this stuff, so we're gonna upgrade the Everyone's Invited.
Yeah, if you guys haven't already seen it, I'm kind of the guy that goes ahead and upgrades every single Secret Lair deck that comes out. Last one we saw was 20 Ways to Win, but everyone's invited, coming out May 12th.
Should be fun. This is gonna be a cool 5-color Morphon deck, dude. So why don't you just talk to me about the commander? And I guess I don't really know what this deck wants to do. So why don't you tell me what the deck wants to do?
Absolutely. So on May 12th, Morophon the Boundless is getting its own deck. Everyone is invited. Very interesting, but the card itself that's helming the deck is 7 mana for a 6/6 legendary creature shapeshifter. It's a changeling, which means it is every creature type. And it says, as Morophon enters, choose a creature type. It also says, spells of the chosen type you cast cost white, blue, black, red, and green less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana that you pay. Other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. So they've built this deck around Morophon, brand new art for 10 of these cards, including this one here. And yeah, this is a shapeshifter deck. It is specifically just all around shapeshifters. Now, doesn't necessarily mean you need to choose a creature type because most of the cards in this deck will be all creature types. Not only that, you have Maskwood Nexus and other things like that to go ahead and just create all creature types from all your cards. So, name of the game is Shapeshifters, and that's here what we're doing.
Very interesting. I think the last time I played with Morphon, it was in my Sliver deck. So this will be an interesting build, I want to say.
Yeah, definitely. Right off the rip, before we get started into this, I just want to remind everybody, I know this is a premium product. I'm going to put that in like quotes because it's $200 if you wanted to pick up this deck, but it's less than that in value in terms of all reprints. So it is a functional deck right out of the box after playtesting it online and just going ahead and looking at the deck list. But these are changes for a reason. So
Well, you said it here, dude. We're making changes. Why don't you tell me some of the creatures we're going to add to this deck to make it even more functional?
yeah, because we are every creature type, let's throw in some things that just help that ability, right? So Omo, Queen of Vesuva, 2 and a Simic, which is either a green or a blue. It's a 1/5 legendary creature, shapeshifter noble. It says when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you put an everything counter on each of up to 1 target land and up to 1 target creature. In case you don't know what that means, it says on the card, each land with an everything counter on it is every land type in addition to its other types, and each non-land creature with an everything counter on it is every creature type. So it's just another way to help make all of our creatures every single creature type. And if we really wanted to be pesky or something like that, we can mess with our opponents. But honestly, Omo is just here just to continue just making everything everything.
Making everything everything. I love it. It's a good addition, actually.
Yeah, it helps. Herald of Hoofbeats is a fun one because we are all creature types. Why not? 3 and a blue for a 3/3 creature human knight. It has horsemanship, in case you don't know what that means. Only creatures with horsemanship can block creatures with horsemanship. It is a very old mechanic. It's really dumb. And it just says other knights you control have horsemanship. So because we're all creature types, we are also knights. So everything has horsemanship. Does your opponents have horsemanship to block? Probably not.
No, definitely not, dude. Nobody has horsemanship. It's gonna be so annoying, dude. This was annoying in the precon that this deck that this card came out in, and horsemanship's always annoying.
It
So I'm
is.
already gonna get annoyed.
Yep.
All right, well, those are some annoying creatures. What about some more crazy creatures?
Yeah, we got 3 more creatures to talk about. So we're going to add in Miriam Sentinel Worm, 3 green, blue, red for a 6/6 legendary creature dragon spirit. It's got flying and board 2 and says whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Guess what? All of our shapeshifters
What?
also dragons. So
Wow.
whenever we play a shapeshifter, we get 2. Reaper King is another fun one. It's got a lot of hybrid mana here. So 2 aura white, 2 aura blue, 2 aura black, 2 aura red, and 2 aura green for a 6/6 legendary artifact creature Scarecrow. It says other scarecrow creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever another scarecrow comes into play under your control, destroy target permanent. So, shapeshifters or scarecrows?
Harvest time, dude.
We are harvesting. We are going
That sounds terrible.
we are going to just destroy anything we want every time one of our creatures comes down.
So it's gonna be one of these kind of decks, huh? All right. I'm seeing it.
It's fun. And the final
Looks like
creature we are
fun.
throwing in is Voja, Jaws of the Conclave for 2, a red, a green, and a white. It is a 5/5 legendary creature wolf. It's got vigilance, it's got trample in ward 3, which is the absolute most bonkers ward of them all. Whenever Voja, Jaws of the Conclave attacks, you put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of elves you control, and then you draw a card for each wolf you control. Fun thing about shapeshifters, they're both.
I'm just getting like I'm hearing it over and over. Fun thing about this is everything like Bojo was nuts in the deck that it ran its elves and its wolves because you had to juggle. Do I need some wolves? Do I need some elves? But in shapeshifter decks, dude, like you're just gonna get best of everything here. That card's nuts.
We're going to be putting
Like, that's
counters
super
on the whole
nuts.
team. We're going to be drawing a card
Yeah,
for our whole team. It's great.
that's that's crazy. I didn't even think about that card.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, well, your creature package so far has been pretty scary because it looks like I'm not gonna have a good time playing against this kind of deck. But what about some non-creature spells?
Yeah, so we're going to throw in 3 instants here. All white, but this one, first one, and they shall know no fear, is 1 and a white for an instant. This is choose a creature type. Honestly, say whatever you want. You probably have them all. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+0 and gain indestructible to end a turn. So just a little protection spell as well as in kind of aggro spell if you need it.
I forgot this spell existed, dude. This is a really good spell
Yeah.
for any kind of kindred deck.
Mm-hmm. And we are 5 colors, so Wizards, we are a premium product. Why not throw the best premium removal into the deck? I don't know. Path to Exile, Sword Splash Shares, both 1 white mana, both an instant. They both say exile target creature. Path lets that controller go ahead and get a basic land, put on the battlefield tapped. And Swords, its controller gains life equal to its power. So throw these in the deck.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if you're running white, it's just the most efficient removal in the game. So
Mm-hmm.
why not?
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like you touched a couple of artifacts. What do we add in here?
Yeah, so we're going to add Door of Destinies for 4 mana. It's an artifact that says as it enters, you choose a creature type. Whatever, once again. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, you put a charge counter on Door of Destinies, and the creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter on Door of Destinies. So it's like a Anthem spell that just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, I think your board's gonna get pretty massive with this card on the field, dude.
Yeah. And another artifact we're throwing in is Urza's Incubator for 3 mana. As it enters, you choose creature type. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to cast, so just make things cheaper, including our commander making things cheaper. Some things might just be free if Urza's Incubator's in the field.
Yeah. If I knew anything about this card, it's a kill on sight because you killed it when it was the only card Steven on the field. So good card, good.
That's a good reference.
Yeah. That looks like those are the 2 artifacts. Are you touching any enchantments?
I'm going to throw 1 enchantment in here, just to give us a little bit of extra card draw. I like this card. This is Guardian Project. 3 and a green for an enchantment that says whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, you draw a card. You're in a singleton format, meaning every single creature that you have in any deck is always going to be a different named, unless you're playing those ones that obviously you could run any in any deck. But Guardian Project, just good card draw.
Very. Yeah, if you're playing green, why not? Every card cantrips.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we're at the part now where you might have added some lands. What's going on here?
I did add some lands. The reason is, even though this is a premium product, Wizards seems to always just skimp out on the land department every single time they make one of these, which is really disappointing. But these I'm just throwing in 4 because you can definitely just beef up just the lands with the amount of money that you want. Just touching 4 lands, you'll see they are just the exact color swaps when we get to our cuts. But Bountiful Promenade, Morphic Pool, Rejuvenating Experience, Spire Garden, they are the bond lands in all of those colors. Bountiful Promenade is green or white. Morphic is blue or black. Rejuvenating is green or blue. And Spire Garden is red or green. Each one comes in tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. You are playing EDH, so it is a multi-person format. So you probably are hitting that threshold unless it's super late game. So once again, I say this in every video, just put these in EDH decks. They are the EDH lands.
I mean, they probably will never put them in like the precons, but yeah, like you said, these premium products, like why not? This would
Yeah,
be a great place to throw these in premium products.
exactly.
Well, maybe one day, but that day is not today. All right, is that gonna do it for all the additions?
That's it. That's it for the additions for the Everyone's Invited.
Cool. Well, hey, you added a bunch of new cards, and I know the deck's called Everyone's Invited, but these appear to be not invited anymore. So why don't you tell me about some cards we're cutting to make room for those?
Yeah, these guys are getting kicked out of the party here. I didn't want to touch the shapeshifters. I will preference that first and foremost. So we are not touching the shapeshifters. We didn't throw any shapeshifters in, so I figured we should replace the ones that we threw in without shapeshifters. So, like I said, all these not shapeshifters, but the ones we threw in are just better than these ones. So the first one, Bruce Tarl, Roving Rancher, 2 red and a white for a 4/3 legendary creature human warrior. It says oxen you control have double strike. And whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you make a 2/2 white ox creature token. Otherwise, you may cast it until the end of your next turn. It's a cool card. And trust me, it gives all of our shapeshifters double strike because they are also oxen. But like I said, I'm just doing 1-to-1 swaps with the creatures we added. The creatures we added, I think, are just a little bit more mean.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit more mean too. I agree.
Atla Palani, Nest Tender, 1 red, green, white for a 2/3 legendary creature human shaman. You could pay 2, tap it to create a 0/1 green egg creature token with Defender. This says whenever an egg you control dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and then the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. This card really cares if our shapeshifters die. And if our shapeshifters aren't dying, we're just making green eggs for the extra mana. I'm trying to do stuff with my mana elsewhere, and we don't really have any way in the deck just to sacrifice the stuff to get that trigger going. So that's easy
Yeah,
cut.
you're kind of at the whim of your opponents.
Mm-hmm. Tazri, Beacon of Unity for 4 and a white for a 4/6 legendary creature human warrior. It says this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. That's right, the party mechanic. It also has an ability for 2 or a blue plus 2 or a black plus 2 or a red plus 2 or a green. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and or ally cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So the absolute ceiling of this card could just be bring it down for 1 mana. Also, you can look at the top 6 and reveal all of those creatures because we have shapeshifters, and you probably will hit that. But the floor of this card is that if you don't have that, this is a 5 mana spell to get down, and then you eventually have to pump more mana into it just to go ahead and continuously get your cards. I'd rather just draw the stuff.
I don't. This card's slow and just it is not for me at all.
Wasn't a fan of the party mechanic. I understand it works better because of shapeshifters, but I'm still not here for it.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely works better, and you don't have to do as much planning. But yeah, I'm not here for this either.
The final creature we are cutting is Bernard Ginger Sculptor, 1 green, white, and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature human artificer. Each creature you control that's a food or a golem gets +2/+2 and has trample. And whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, you create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 food golem artifact creature in addition to those other types, and it gains pay 2 tap to sacrifice this artifact to gain 3 life.
Mhm.
We added Door of Destinies, which is an Anthem effect. We have other Anthem effects in here, so I felt like just getting +2/+2 and trample is not good enough just to keep Bernard around. So get it gone.
Sorry, Bernard. Go make cookies somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That appears to be the creatures we're cutting. What about some non-creatures now?
Yeah, non-creatures, straight up, we'll go with the sorceries first. I'm getting rid of 1 board wipe. There's still 2 other board wipes in the deck. This one, I just mentioned it real quick with Tazri. I don't like the party mechanic, and I don't think it's that great. So stick together 3 and 2 white for sorcery. Each player chooses a party from among creatures they control, then sacrifices the rest. That means you can choose up to one of each of Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard, and then poof. So this isn't necessarily even a board wipe for your opponents, because if they had any of those creature types, they're keeping them around.
Yeah. Very weird. I mean, I guess it's on flavor for the deck, but eh.
Yeah, the flavor is definitely there for the deck, but like you said, meh.
We're trying to make the deck better, or you are, so
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
And then moving on to the instants, we are getting rid of some. I'll show you why I'm getting rid of these. This first one is Nameless Inversion for 1 and a black. It's a tribal instant shapeshifter. It's a changeling, which means this card is every creature type at all times. And then target creature gets +3, -3, and loses all creature types till end of turn. I get what they're trying to do here. With our commander, this actually makes it 1 cheaper. So it's just 1 generic mana, because it's technically the card type that we've named. But even at 1 generic mana, giving something +3, -3, which is, I guess, considered a kill spell, and then just losing all the creature types, that's not good. It's
Bit meh.
probably not going to kill anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we added for 1 white mana, you can exile that creature forever. Speaking of which, Crib Swap, they always try to force this into kind of any Kindred style decks. 2 and a white for tribal instant shapeshifter. It has changeling as well. Exile target creature, its controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with changeling. Path and Swords are just a direct upgrade. Even with the commander on the field, it's still 2 generic mana to do the exile thing.
Yeah, and you're still giving him a creature. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me? Well, they can't add Path and Swords because they're like, this is a shapeshifter deck, so we're trying to be on theme. So again, flavor-wise, I get it, but we're trying to make the deck better.
Yeah. Flavorful. Like I said, out of the box,
Yeah.
very flavorful. Still
Yeah.
runs. This is an upgrade for a reason.
Yep.
Spoils of Adventure, 4 white, blue instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. I'm not going to repeat that. You gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Worst case, 6 mana, draw 3. Not good. And the final instant we are getting rid of is Shields of Velasavel. 1 white. So this one actually could be free because it is a tribal instant shapeshifter and a changeling. Creatures target player controls get +0/+1 and gain all creature types to end a turn. And see why I'm getting rid of that? We've got other
A little bit
ways.
redundant.
Got other ways just to go ahead and make everything every creature type, and the majority of our deck is already shapeshifters. So it is redundant. It's not needed.
And it's not even giving you protection or anything. You know, it's kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you 1 toughness bump. Very cool.
Hey, that could be your saving grace. Nah,
There you go.
I get it. And that looks like all the spells of the instant and sorcerer variety, but what about some non-creature spells that are also permanents?
Yeah, back onto the permanents. We got 1 artifact, 1 enchantment. This first artifact that was in here, I understand why it's in here. I'll tell you why, but it's weird. Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree for 3 mana. It's a legendary artifact. You can pay 2 and tap it. Target opponent mills 3 cards. Put a land card from their graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield. Exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. And then another ability for 10, you can tap it. Sacrifice Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree. Search your library for any number of Praetor cards. Put them on the battlefield and shuffle. So obviously it's for that last part, right? For 10 mana, you can go ahead and grab every shapeshifter in your deck and just drop it onto the field, and that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I just don't find me ever activating that ability.
Yeah, I get that. That's kind of like, it's the flashy move. Will it win? I mean, it might sometimes.
And I get it. Paying 2, tapping this, making an opponent mill, grabbing one of their lands they just milled and putting it on your field to ramp into that 10 is a thing you can do. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend the mana just to mill my opponents and hope I can get some lands.
Yeah, fair enough. It's your upgrade, dude. I like what you're doing so far with it, so I approve.
And the final one we are getting rid of is the Bears of Litjara. 1 green, blue for a Saga enchantment. It's got its first lore counter that says create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with changeling. The second lore counter says any number of target shapeshifter creatures you control have base power and toughness 4/4. And the third and final lore counter says choose up to one target creature or planeswalker. Each creature with power 4 or greater you control deals damage equal to its power to that permanent. So that third lore counter, definitely, it's basically saying for sure something's going to die. But for one shapeshifter just to be a 4/4 eventually, I think this is a very slow enchantment, and I get why it's in here. We've said it all along. It's flavorful, but it's just it's just meh.
It is a slow flavor win.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Lastly, you added some lands, and you said you were going to talk about the direct swaps. So what are these?
Yeah, as you can see, all 4 of these lands are the exact type of lands. And we're just swapping them straight over because these lands aren't good. And you agree, Shane. These are the filter lands
100%.
in all of the exact same colors. So Dark Water Catacombs, Mossfire Valley, Overflowing Basin, and Sungrass Prairie, all filter lands. You have to pay 1 into them, tap them, and get their respective colors. So Dark Water gets a blue and black, Mossfire red and green, Overflowing green and blue, and Sungrass is green and white. They are just slow if you play them on turn 1, especially having this many in your deck. It's a very slippery slope of, uh-oh, I don't have any mana that I can tap.
These lands suck, dude. I hate doing math. I hate thinking about my lands. Like, I don't know. I get that they're Precon lands, but I don't like them.
Yep, swap them straight with the bond lands. You'll be happy.
I'd be so much happier. Is that going to do it for the Kets? Is that your entire upgrade?
That is it. That's the entire upgrade for everyone's invited.
Whoa, everyone's invited. Did you hear that? Well, with this upgrade, you got a budget of $100 to get these cards. What are the prices of everything coming out to?
So with all those additions, I'm just coming straight underneath $100. So I'm actually sitting at $99.45 for all those cards.
Nice. And like you said, this is a premium product, so it does already have a bit of a, price point at the beginning like that. So this is completely optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But if you did pick this deck up, I like these upgrades, dude. Big fan.
Yeah. And yeah, I just want to reiterate on that point, Shane. Absolutely. This is a premium product. You're already spending $200 on it. We just make these videos just because this is what we do. We do these 100s, we do the 300s. So, of course, you will be seeing the $300 upgrade to this as well, in case you want to throw 300 into that additional 200 as well. Yep, you'll see that too. But yeah.
Well, do you have any final thoughts on Morophon and this deck as a whole?
Yeah, Morophon's been around for a long time. So, really, final thoughts are just kind of reiterated for how long it's been around. And we all know Morophon is in the top 100 of commanders of all time for a reason. It's a fun deck. And like I said in the beginning, straight out of the box, very playable. You are going to play very slow. First and foremost, I would highly suggest fixing the mana base if you want to spend money first. So
That kind of works with any kind of Precon, man. Tune up that land base, you're going to have a much more fun time.
yeah.
Right on. Well, I like this upgrade, Hunter. I'm a big fan of it. But what do you guys think? Drop Hunter a comment letting him know. Did you miss a card? Was there a card that you already added? Maybe you didn't cut a card that you liked? I don't know. What am I trying to say? Maybe you just didn't like the cuts. But leave him a comment letting him know. But make sure you like this video if you liked it. In the description, you'll find a link to the Mox Field, so you can play test it, check it out, see if you want to pick up these cards. That'll all be in the description of this video. Also down in the description of this video, you'll find a link to all of our socials. So just follow us along on others and check them out. On the screen right now, these are all of our Patreon members. If you wanted to see what they're seeing, which is some exclusive videos, gameplays, some early content, check the link in the description. And a special big shout out to the Gained Indestructible tier, starting with
Aaron Hill,
Brian Ganella,
Daryl Tripp,
Marion Turner,
Doc Jerome,
Jimmy Ward,
Kevo,
Larry Killian,
Thrifty PSGR,
and Tim K. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your extra support. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Peace.